Hello everyone, how are you my students? Today we will solve an important questions on Unit 3 on geometric and measurement. First, multiple choice questions. Question number 1, two vertically opposite angles are equal in measure. Okay, are equal in measure. The sum of measure of the cumulative angle at a point equal 360. Cumulative angle will be 360. Okay. Question number 3. The sum of measure of the interior angles in any quadrilateral equal 360. Quadrilateral has 4 sides. Okay. The number of diagonal of the quadrilateral equal space. He asked about diagonal about quadrilateral equal 2. We can use this rule. N multiplication n minus 3 divided by 2 to find the number about diagonals in any quadrilateral or any polygon. In reference to number of sides, you know quadrilateral has 4 sides. So if we put or satisfy here 4, let n equal 4. The result will be 4 multiplication 4 minus 3 equal 1 over 2. The result will be 2. So the number of diagonal about quadrilateral such that trapezium here, we have 2 diagonal only. Question 5. If ABCD is a square, then the measure of angle CAD equal 45 degree. Because the diagonal about square bisect the vertex into equal angle. We have triangle, or you have triangle here ABD is triangle, okay? And we can find the measure of angle here is subtract 90 by 180 and divided it by 2 equal angles, or must know the diagonal about the square bisects two opposite angle here equality, because the measure of angle D equal 90 divided by 2 equal 45. The two diagonals in the rectangle are equal in lengths. In rectangle equal in lengths, but in the rhombus we know two diagonal perpendicular and square equal in lengths and perpendicular. Question 7. The rhombus whose two diagonals are equal in lengths is called, we called it what? Rhombus. Whose two diagonals are equal in lengths called what? The rhombus. Whose two diagonal will be equal or equal in lengths called square. It's convert. The rhombus will be converted to square, because we know two diagonal in rhombus perpendicular only, but the two diagonal will be equal in lengths. This shape or this quadrilateral will convert to square. Okay, again, the rhombus whose two diagonal are equal in lengths is called square. It will be converted to square. The rhombus whose perimeter is 60 cm, its side length equals space. We know the length about the rhombus equal. We know rhombus has 4 sides equal in length, and the perimeter about rhombus equals side times 4. So you can find the side about the rhombus. 60 divided by 4 equal 15 centimeter. It's what the side length about rhombus. You can find the side length here, right? 15. The measure of interior angle of regular pentagon equal space. Pentagon has 5 sides, so we can write the rule. It will be 108 by using the rule. We can write n subtract by 2 multiplication 180. n subtract by 2 in reference to what? Varies the number of sides, and then divided the number of them. n minus 2 multiplication 180 divided by n. n it will be 5. Okay, we can cancel n, write 5. 5 minus 2 equal 3. 3 times 180 divided by 5 equal 108. The measure of interior angle of regular hexagon equal 120. We can use this rule again. n minus 2 multiplication 180 divided by n. Okay, but the total will be 720, and the measure of total number interior angles about regular will be 540. If you asked about the total of the sum of interior angles, only it will be 540 here, and hexagon 720. The number, question 11, the number of diagonals of pentagon equal 5. It's only shape. The number of diagonals equals the number of sides. We called it what? The pentagon. He can ask it another question about this. Example, he asked it about which is a pentagon, which is a solid, or which shape, which the shape has the same number of diagonal and the same number of side. You will ask it on yourself, right? The result will be pentagon, because the number of side equals the number of diagonals. The number of diagonals equals the number of sides in pentagon. Okay, or you can using this rule in multiplication n minus 3 over 2 to find the number of pentagon of diagonal in pentagon. It will be 5. Number of side equal number of diagonal in only shape in pentagon. Question number 12. The measure of exterior angle of regular is 45. Then the number of each side equal. He give us the exterior angle. You can write the interior angle by 180 subtract 45. Okay, the result will be what? 135. So the number of each side equal what? We can write n minus 2 multiplication 180 to find the sum of interior angle, or you can use it 360 over 45 in one step. You know the result. If the teacher give you the inside angle or interior angle, you must write this rule: 360 over 180 subtract by x. X refers to the interior angle, but 180 subtract x, x refers to what? Refers to interior angle. So 180 minus x, it refers to exterior angles. If you get the exterior angles, you must put this result here. Cancel 180 subtract by x. The result will be 360 over 45. To find the result, divided them. It will be what? It will be 8 sides. Okay, 360 divided by 45. Understood this example? I will explain it again. Okay, pay attention with me. He gives us the measure of exterior angle. You must find the interior angle. Exterior angle here, such as that. This exterior angle and interior angle here, supplementary it. The sum of them equal 180. 180 subtract 45 equal 135. Okay, so the result will be 360 over 45 equal 8 sides. Or you can using another method. Another method refers to 360 over exterior angle, the measure of exterior angle in one side, divided 360 by 45 equal 8. He give us the exterior angle here 45. Okay, write 180 subtract by the number. Understood? You can use 360 divided by exterior angle, measure of exterior angle in one step, or find the inside angle and then write in here in this rule. It will be 45 again. So 360 divided 45 equal 8. The result will be 8. Look at here. Next question. Question 13. The measure of interior angle of a regular polygon of 10 sides equal. He asked about the measure of interior angle. You must find the rule n minus 2 multiplication by 180 divided by n in relation to the side, number of side. 10 minus 2 equal 8. Multiplication by 180 divided by 10. We can cancel 0 by 0, divided 10 numerator and numerator, and 8 times 18, 8 times 8 equal 64, write 4 and carry up 6, 1 times 8 equal 8, 8 plus 6 equal 14. Result 144. The perimeter of a square side length 5 cm equal space. the parameter about square, 4 times side. 4 times 5 equal 20. The measure of, or the sum of measure of two consecutive angles in the parallelogram equal space equal 180. We called it supplementary angles. Sum of them equal 180. The parallelogram whose angle right is called what? Parallelogram whose right angle we called it rectangle. Rectangle. If two adjacent sides are equal in parallelogram, then the figure is space. Two adjacent sides are equal. In parallelogram, we called it rhombus. ABCD is a parallelogram in which measure of angle A plus measure of angle C equal 140. Then measure of angle B will equal space. We know it's a parallelogram A, B, C, D. Here the measure of angle A and C equal 140. You can divide it by 2 because each opposite angles are equal in measure. 140 divided by 2 equals 70. So measure of angle A equals 70, and the two adjacent angles sum. The sum of measure of two consecutive angles in parallelogram or in any quadrant which all sides equal in length or perpendicular, square or rhombus, it will be equal 180. The sum of measure of two consecutive angles of parallelogram equal 180, so 180 minus 70 equal 110. The result will be 110. The two diagonals are equal in length and perpendicular in square. The two adjacent angles are equal in length and not perpendicular. Two adjacent are equal in length and not perpendicular in rectangle, but two diagonals are equal in length and perpendicular in square. Two diagonals not equal in length and perpendicular in rhombus, and two diagonals bisect each other in parallelogram. Okay, you must know all this information about quadrilateral. The diagonal of the square divides the vertex of two angles. The measure of each of them equal 45 degrees. The diagonals or the diagonal of the square divides the vertex angle in two equal angles. The measure of them equal 45 degrees. The diagonal of square make an angle measure space with any of its side. Okay, the diagonal of the square make an angle of measure equal what? 45. It's like question 21 like 22. He asked that diagonal of square makes the angle of the measure with any sides. It will be 45 degrees because the diagonal of the square divides the vertex angle into angles equal. The measure of each is equal 45. Question 23. ABCD is a parallelogram in which measure of angle A equal 50 degrees and measure of angle B equal space. We know the adjacent side are equal in length in rhombus, and if we want to find the sum of measure of two consecutive angles, we must say 180. Measure of angle A and measure of angle B, sum of them equal 180 because they are consecutive angles. So the measure of angle B equal 180 subtract by 50 equal 130 degree. Question 24. The sum of measure of the interior angle of triangle equal what? We can write the measure, the sum. He asked the sum of measure of interior angle equal 180 degree about triangle. The sum of measure of interior angle of triangle equal the measure. It will be what? Acute. Acute angle 60 plus 60 plus 60 equal 180. So 180 equal the measure of straight angle. The sum of measure of interior angle equal 180 degree equals the measure of straight angle because measure of straight angle will equal 180 degree. Any triangle has at least two acute angles. Any triangle has at least two acute angles. ABCD is triangle. ABC is triangle in which measure of angle A equal measure of angle B plus measure of angle C, then measure of angle A equal 90 degree. It's right angle triangle. Triangle ABC is in which X and Y are midpoint of B, AB and AC, and BC was 14 centimeters in XY equal, we know, side lengths about line segment which join between two median point in triangle. It will be half of the opposite side or the third side. Third side here was 14 centimeters in the length about this midpoint. This line here, such that we called it what? X and Y? Okay, XY half of 14 equals 7 centimeter. If triangle ABC is right angle triangle at P, then AC power 2 equal AB power 2 plus BC power 2. See Pythagoras theorem. ABC is right angle triangle at P. AB equal 20 centimeter and EC equal 25 centimeter. Then BC equal 25 power 2. Subtract 20 power 2 equal 625, subtract 400 equal 225. Square root about root 25 equal 15 centimeter. If triangle ABC right angle triangle at B, measure of an exterior angles of P equal space. He asked about exterior angle about P. B, right? So the exterior angle it will 90 degree. We have supplementary angle here. Sum of them equal 180. The image of the point reflection of an x-axis equal, we know x and y. It's the order of point. Reflect of x-axis. Put x here. Don't change x, and change the sign about y. It will be 1, 2, and 1. The image of the point 3 and 5 by reflect in y-axis is reflect in y-axis. We know the point x and y. Put y here and change the sign about x. It will be negative 3, and 5. The image of the point 3 and negative 5 reflect in original point. We can change the two sign here. It will be negative 3 and 5. The image of the point negative 3 and 0 itself by reflect on space. We know negative 3 and x reflect on what? Reflect in y-axis or x-axis. We know negative 3 and 0 lies in x-axis. Okay, lies in x-axis. It is reflected in the image by reflect itself. The result will be negative 3 and 0 in x-axis. It will be negative 3 and 0 in x-axis. If A dash is the image of the point by reflect in M, and MA equals 6 centimeters in AA dash equal space. The image of the point M and MA, we know this point M and this point M and this point A and this point A dash here, and the distance between M and A equals 6 centimeters. Then the distance between M and A dash equals 6 centimeters, such that this length. So the total length will be 6 plus 6 equal 12 centimeters. Okay, again this point M and this point A, distance between them 6 centimeters, and this point will be A dash. The distance between A dash and M equals 6 centimeters, so the distance between A and A dash equals 6 plus 6 equal 12. The image of the point 4 and A minus 3 by reflect in x-axis it's meaning what? It's meaning y equals 0. So A will be 3. So 3 minus 3 equals 0. If the image of the point A minus 3 and 7 by reflect in y-axis itself, it's meaning x will be 0. So we must put here 3 because 3 minus 3 equals 0. The number of axes of symmetry of parallelogram which has the right angle equal. Number of axis symmetry of parallelogram, it will be 0, but has the right angle. Has the right angle, it will be rectangle. Rectangle has two line symmetry. The number of symmetry of rectangle equal 2. The number of axis of symmetry of square equal 4 is 4. Okay. The number of axis symmetry of equilateral triangle equal 3. The number of symmetry of isosceles triangle is 1. The number of axis symmetry of a circle equal what? 0 or infinity? It's infinity number about circle. The image of the point by translation 1 and 2. Translation 3 plus 1 equal 4. Negative 1 plus 2 equal 1. The result will be 4 and 1. The image of the point 3 and 7 by translation x plus 2 y minus 1, it will be 3 plus 2 equal 5. 7 minus 1 equals 6. The result will be 5 and 6. The image of the point 5 and 3 by rotation 0 and 90. We must replace this point. It will be negative 3 and 5 and replace the sign about the first. So the result will be 3 and 5. About rotation 90 degree. Okay, replaced and change the sign about the first. The image of the square by rotation about the original point with an angle of measure 90 degree is square. The image of square by rotation about original point with an angle 90 degree, it will be square. Okay. The image of the triangle by rotation about original point with an angle 180 is triangle. Rotation about triangle, it will be triangle. Look at here, this question. AB dash C dash is the image of triangle ABC by rotation around A with angle space. Look at here about this angle B dash. Here is the image about B. Look at here about B and B dash. B dash is the image about B. Look at here, it's B dash and B. In the rotation here from B to B dash, it's the inverse about rotation about the clock. It will be positive. From B to B dash, this angle will be 80 plus 30 equal 110. This angle will be 110 degree.